Hi there, crafty friends. Welcome and thank you for joining me. My name is Melissa, and today I want to make another card using the Wild Wolves stamp and die set. And we will also be using the One Little Wolf from the Wolf Before and After stamp and dies. So in my video last week, I told you how I received this stamp and die set as a welcome gift for Firefly Farms Creative Crate that I participated in. And we had a challenge to create 2 cards using this stamp and die set. And so my video last week was showing you 1 card that I did, but I wanted to show you the other card that I also did because we had to submit 2. And this just came out so cute. I love the little portrait wall with the little tiny wolves, and then we've got our couple, and then we've got like a sister and a brother. But this was super easy. And I want to show you what I did to get those frames. So I've got a lot of product going on here. I already did our little family of wolves. I've already colored them and die cut them. I actually heat embossed them first with the VersaFine and then the clear embossing powder, just like we did last week. Everything on the little wolves is identical. Same colors, same process, everything, except we did not outline them with the black Copic marker. We are going to leave the white outline on there today, and I'm not showing you how to do that because it's exactly like we did last week with the black card. But I want to concentrate on our frames here. So I do have most of this already prepared. We will be walking through some of it, but especially the frames that I used for our pictures. And I wanted to show you how I did this because I did not have dies this small. So we're going to create our own frames, and I'm going to show you how we do that. So let's start first with our background. I am on a, let me put this over here. For some reason, I am on a brick wall kick. It seems like everything is brick walls lately. So we are going to bring in our honeybee stamp salvaged brick background stencil. And we need to make sure, we're going to tape this on there. We need to make sure that we get this stencil perfectly lined up. So I'm going to take my paper and I am going to line the edge of the paper up with the edge of that brick wall on the top. And it really does need to be pretty accurate because we will be using the bricks to line up our frames so we can get everything stenciled, so we can get it lined up perfect, like you were hanging it on the wall. So let's go ahead and we're going to start with our bricks here. And this is pretty simple. We did this last time. I think we used a different, well, not last time, but we did this before. I think I used the straight bricks and not the salvaged, but I really like the salvaged because you get a lot of detail in there. Even though we're going to be covering some of it up, you do get a lot of detail. And I am using Pink Fresh Studio Rocky Slope. We're just going to get that inked up. And I think that's probably pretty good. It doesn't have to be perfect because, like I said, we are going to cover some of it up with our frames, but we do want to get pretty good coverage on there. Let's see what we got. I think that's pretty good. Yeah, that's perfect. We don't need to go crazy. So there we've got that. We will set this aside until we are ready for it. And now let's go ahead and work on our frames. So I've got quite a few different die sets here. This die I got from an old Stampin' Up set I have, Scalloped Contours. And I just took the second smallest, and I've got my large, well, not a large, but all my foil and paper. I just took scraps. We don't need to use a large piece. We're going to go ahead and die cut this one first. And I want to show you, oops, sorry about that. I want to show you that when we die cut this one, it does not have the center cut out of it. So we are going to alter this shape so it will be a frame. So see how we've got the shape here, and it doesn't have the center cut out. It is not a frame yet. So we are going to take, what did I use? It's a Hero Arts set. We are going to use a die from the Infinity Dies Hero Arts, the nested rectangles. And I found one that fits in there perfect. And that's how we are going to make our frame for the couple. So let's go ahead and get this lined up. I'm going to try not to get my head in there. Just line that up. Put some tape, and we're going to use the tape. We're going to attach it. I got that moved a little bit on me. We're going to attach it to the die, but we are going to tape it to the inside just in case it sticks to the paper. It won't ruin our frame. It will stick to the inside. And that's a little crooked. So let's straighten that out a little bit. There we go. I think that's better. So we're going to cut this one out. I don't want it to pop and make too much noise. I know that can be pretty annoying on the camera. And there you go. There we have one of our frames. So you just need to look at your dies and figure out how you can make another shape out of them. And I want to reuse these pieces of paper or pieces of tape. So let's go ahead and we are going to now look at our rectangles here. So these I have had forever. This is My Favorite Things set, and I just took the smallest one out of here. Now it's still not as small as I want it, but I'm going to make it small. And then out of this one, this is also a My Favorite Things set. I took the smallest one out of here, and I'm going to make it even smaller. Okay, so let's work with our rectangle first. And as you can see, the rectangle is a lot smaller than our frame. So what we need to do is we need to take our scrap. I need a bigger scrap. That might work. We need to take our scrap of foil, place the die on there, and we are not going to run it all the way through. We are going to only partially die cut this. So we're going to run it through about there, bring it back out, take a look at what we've got, and that's pretty good. Let's trim off our pieces here. We don't need that getting in the way. And then we can take our die and we're going to wiggle it into place. We can feel those little stitch marks. I'm going to take a piece of tape because I want to make sure that that stays in place. We'll put this back on our machine, and we want to make sure that we put this end in first that we're cutting. We don't want to accidentally cut off the frame that we already have started. So let's go ahead, run that through. I think that's probably pretty good. It's hard to tell because you can't see it. And I think we need just a little bit more. You can see that that little middle section did not quite cut. So let's try it again. There we go. We don't want to run it all the way through because we don't want to cut this off. And that came out perfect. And of course, sometimes you get the little edges on there. Just take your eraser and you can get those off. And that's perfect. Now we made our own custom sized frame for our card. So let's go ahead and do that again. Let's do a rectangle one instead of the shaped one so I can give you another idea again. So just so you can see it again. We'll bring in our die cut machine. We're going to take our rectangle, place that on there, and we will only, I want to make sure you can see that, we will only run it through so far. And then we can see how big we've made our rectangle. Trim those off so they're not in the way. And then we need to decide how big we want it. And again, it doesn't need to be too big. We're going this way with it, so I think we will. I just kind of guessed when I made mine, but I want to make it the same. So I think that's probably pretty good. If it's just a little bit bigger, that's all right. And those stitch marks just slide right down into there. So we're going to bring in our tape. We're going to hold that in place and do the same thing again. And remember, only put the piece of paper in there that you want to cut. We don't want to cut this off on accident. So we're going to put that in there. Just like that. Don't go all the way because you don't want to cut that other corner, that other edge. And that was perfect. We have our own custom little size here from this much larger die. And I just wanted to really show you that you can make any shape you want with any die that you have. It is just so simple. So now I need to do two more. We've got two of our frames done. Actually, we've got three of our frames done. I need to do two more. I need to do another rectangle and then another stop sign type shape here. I don't know what that is, octagon maybe. So I'm going to put that in my die cut machine just like that. We will not run it all the way through, only partially. I'm hoping you guys can get the idea there. And then I do like to just cut these off so I can see what I'm doing. Now we will take our die again, just kind of wiggle it around to get it in place, and then take your tape and tape it. It's so easy. It's a little fussy. It is definitely fussy work, but when you can get your own shape without having to purchase more dies, it's worth it. So we'll put that in there and see what we got. And that came out perfect. We have another octagon shape, just like that. Our octagon is 8. We only have 6. No, we do have 8. My goodness, I'm all confused. We have another stop sign shape frame. So now all I need is one more. I think you guys probably kind of get the hang of it here. So I will go ahead and do the next one. And so now we need some frames. We need a backdrop for our frames. And all I did here was I just cut backgrounds out. As long as that fits on there, I'm happy. It does not have to be perfect. I just cut the backgrounds out and we will just trim those out like that. Just like that. Okay, so now let's put a little bit of highlight for our background. And for our background behind our little guys there, all I did was bring in a blending brush. I didn't even add ink to it. I just kind of blended that in there. That's a little darker than I would have liked, but it's okay. We're still going to use it. I'm just going to blend a little bit back there. And I chose blue. I don't know why I chose blue. I think because I was thinking of like school pictures and we always had a blue background. But you can use any color you want for the background there. That's good. One more. And now I need to clean my fingers because I have blue ink all over them. Okay, so now we can start to build. Super, super simple. Let's take our couple here. We are going to figure out where we want them. And I think probably right there will be super cute. And all I did for these, before I attached the frame, I just glued them directly to that, just like that. We've got our couple in there. We've got 2 little ones over here. I am just going to glue them down. I just want to make sure I get their faces a little bit close to each other so they show up in the frame. And that's perfect. Okay, so now we will trim off any excess so it doesn't stick out. We've got flying pieces everywhere. I feel like I'm a hot mess today. You know, I am trying to rush, but I don't want to rush. My husband is out of the house. He went to the store, and I am trying to get this done before he gets back. So I feel like I'm kind of a hot mess today, and I apologize for that. All right, so we've got all of our little pictures ready. And so this is where I brought in some foam strips. And I am just going to attach foam strips behind each frame. Okay, so I've already got some of my little wolf portraits attached to their frame. We've got these two left to do, and I just wanted to show you, I've got foam tape on all of my frames. I'm going to flip that over, and because I cut my background to fit that frame perfectly, I'm just going to place that on top, and there he's all in his frame and all ready. Same thing here. Just take that foam off of the frame, and then we will place the picture on the frame. I don't usually like to put the frame on top of the picture because sometimes it won't be real straight, and then you'll have a little bit of overhang, and I just want to make sure that's perfect. And there we go. That is so cute. We're all ready to attach these to our background. So let's just kind of look and see how we want these. I know that we want to put our sentiment. I've got my sentiment already done. I'm glad you're in my pack. I white heat embossed that on black, and I've got some foam already on there. So let's see how we want to do this. I want that up there. There we go. That's okay. I think that should probably be pretty good. We've got good room there. So let's start on the bottom. And I am just going to glue these directly to my background. And I know that this is a little bit smaller than that on the left. Hopefully I'm not getting my head in there. So I am just going to center that. I am going to move that up just a little bit. We can do the one on the left. And because we're using liquid glue, we can adjust these. So I am going to center this one on that bottom row of my brick. And then this one will be up just a little bit higher. And I think that's good. We've got the same size on each side. Let's do our couple. We're kind of working from the outside in, and I am going to put that on the second brick. Let's see, take that up a little bit. We're going to look and make sure it's centered. That's good. Then we can do our sentiment, because we know I'm actually putting this in a little bit different place here. We can do our sentiment right underneath that frame. Make sure it's straight. I've got it lined up with that brick, and that's perfect. Now we can add our other two frames, and we will have plenty of room. And this octagon shape is a little bit taller than my rectangle, so I'm going to make sure that I bring that down a little bit. I am trying to center it with my bottom frame, and I think that's pretty good. All we have now to do is embellish. So I did get some little ties here. I cut some ties out of the Lawn Fawn Sweet Christmas. It came with the die set, and I just cut those out of there. We will be using them for bows and for ties. So on my girls, I've got bows in their hair, or right under their ear. For the boys, we're using them as a little tie. And I only did this on the larger of the wolves, not the smaller ones. There we go. We've got a bow, a tie, and a tie. Let's attach these. So then we'll bring in a little bit more embellishments for, we had extra ties. For my gems, I'm using the, I thought I had little pink ones here too. I am using the honeybee stamps. And I used these they're kind of grayish brown. And I am just going to place these all over. All right, there we go. I think the hardest part of adding those gems was trying to get them in a straight line. And you can see that they are a little bit crooked, but usually all you have to do is just kind of nudge those around. I had a rogue gem on there. I did add a little pink gem in the bow on the girls. I hope you like this video, and I encourage you to grab old dies that you've had in your stash forever and make shapes that you don't have but might need. It is so easy. Please let me know what you thought. I will see you next time. Have a great day. Bye-bye.